Hey guys, today is May the 27th, and after installing the pistons, the cam, timing chain, all that, I was trying to degree the cam, and after messing around for hours and hours with it, I came up, the closest I could come up with on the, what they call on the cam card, is, what was that, 106 for the intake center line. I come up with 105. I'm not going to go through and show how I use this. I mean, there's plenty of videos on YouTube to show you how to use the degree wheel. Basically, I just put the piston on top dead center, backed off some off of it, so trying to find the true top dead center. Once you do that, then you go about finding the true top TDC, and then zero it out here, and then I've got the lifter in here, using it to find where the valve, the intake valve, opens up all the way, and then you go about figuring that up anyways. I guess, well, I know they make a gauge that fits in this where the lifter fits, and that is more accurate than doing it this way, but you get pretty close this way, and I think everything's working out okay from all the measurements that I've taken, and I come really close. It doesn't come out exactly what the cam card says, but it's really close, within 1 to 2 degrees off on some of the other stuff. I was checking the 218 for the duration at 50, and so on. I got this degree wheel at Jegs, as you can see, and first I couldn't mount it on the on the crank, because this crank doesn't have a center bolt to hold the harmonic balancer. The balancer is just pressed in, so I had to put the balancer in, partially in, and then I mounted the wheel onto the balancer. Hey guys and gals, today is Sunday morning. Man, we're already in June. Today is June the 3rd, and I'm still not finished with this block or engine. Just been really busy, caught up at work, doing other things. But anyways, what I was going to try to do is get this oil pump installed today. I went ahead and bought me a new oil pump. This is a Melling M55 HV for high volume. So this is a new one. The other one was just an M55, I guess, standard volume. So I'm going to go ahead and put this pickup tube in here, and what I've done is I've measured the oil pan, the depth of the oil pan here, and I put a straight edge across here, measured the depth, and it comes out to be about 7.5. and I put my pickup tube here. It's time to clean up again, got a mess. I put my pickup tube here, put a straight edge across the oil pump, measured from the engine block to the edge of the oil pump where the straight edge was, marked, where is it? There it is, marked with a Sharpie approximately there. So I took about, what was it, 3/8, or yeah, 3/8, so 7.5 minus 3/8, and that's where I ended up at, which was 7 1/4, something like that. Where'd my tape measure go? So that's where I'm gonna install that. No, not 7 1/4. It'd be, we're at 7 1/2, so we gotta come down. Yeah, 7 1/4. I went down 1/4. I think somewhere I read or instructions said anywhere between 3/8 and 1/2, 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch, but I think 1/2 inch is way too much. So I went down just 1/4. I hope that's right. So we're going to try to get this tube in there. So I'm going to take the pump off the engine, and then try to hammer that tube in. Don't want to do it on the engine block, so I'll probably see if I can get set up, and I'll put the camera on a tripod and see how this thing goes in. Alright guys, we'll bring you back here in a few minutes. Okay, I'm fixing to attempt to put this pickup tube in there. If I can find my hammer, I'll do it. So I've got it marked with the Sharpie there, so we're going to line it up there and hopefully try to drive it in there. Make sure that that's the way it goes. Alright, let me put you guys on pause and then see where I ended up at. Alright, well, apparently this thing didn't work. I went in here to bolt down the oil pump just to set it on here, touched the tube, and it come right out. So when I put it in here, I mean, this pickup tube would not even go in the hole there. I mean, you barely could get it to fit in there because it's bigger than, this is bigger than the hole. So it's supposed to, when you press it in there, it's supposed to go in and stay, I guess, but that ain't gonna work. It's in there all the way, it bottomed out to the pump where I marked it. I have another pickup tube right here. I just wanted to use this one. I had ordered this one before, and then I ordered this one, and there is a bolt-on type, but so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and line it up where I want it. I'm gonna drag my welder out, and I'm gonna weld that piece right to it, or tack on it, and see if that'll hold it. They recommend you tack it anyways, but I mean, it should have been a whole lot stiffer than that when it bottomed out. I mean, you should not be able to just to pull it out like that. And basically this one here is about what this one was, is when you fit it in the hole, it will not fit in there. So you have to press it in there, and when you get it pressed in there, it's supposed to stay, but that didn't work. Even the old one is a tighter fit than this new one. When you stick this old one in there, it presses in there. I mean, heck, you can't pull that one out at least. So I don't know what happened there. didn't really distort it here. So I'm going to try to get it lined up, and I'm going to weld it and tack it on there. Bring you guys back. Alright, what I've done is I went ahead and put, earlier when I did my measurements from the oil pan, I didn't have my gaskets on. So what I've done is I went ahead and just kind of placed the gaskets here on timing chain cover, back here at the main seal, and down here. And I put this pump pickup screen at an angle up. Then I set my oil pan down and pushed the screen down where it would be even to the bottom of the pan, where it was hitting the bottom of the pan. And then I took a measurement that was right about 7.5. So what I did is I just moved it down about 1/4 inch. So now I'm getting where's my tape measure? I'm getting about 7 1/4. So 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. So when I put a straight edge across here, and I went ahead and marked 2 lines on it. So if I go ahead and just lay a straight edge across here, I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Flip my viewfinder. Put a straight edge across here. You don't want to hit it too hard because it's very loose. It's not very tight on there. So I place my tape measure on the gasket. Straight edge there. I am hitting about 7 1/4, 7 3/8. So that should be where I need to be at. So I'm gonna pull the pump off. I'm gonna pull out my welder. Sure hated to pull out my welder. I mean, I got a mess over here. I gotta dig it out, and then align that tube where it's at, and go ahead and tack that in place. Okay, I'm getting ready to spot weld or tack this right here on the pickup tube to the oil pump. Got the stuff out, dragged the welder out and everything. So I'm not going to leave the camera on while I weld, because I don't think it's any good for the camera. I don't know, it might not harm it, but anyways, as soon as I get it done, I'll turn it back on. Okay, I got it tacked there. I did 4 little tacks. I had to turn up the welder because every time the first tack I did didn't seem like it took. I mean, it welded on there, but it kind of was acting like if the metal was dirty. I mean, I had cleaned it around here and stuff, but it didn't really take like a good weld. So I turned up the welder, and I think this last tack I did pretty much got it. The first one I did, I think, got it, but I went ahead and just gave it 3 more around here, and this last one I turned up that welder, and it took really well. I didn't want to hit the tube right here on top and then burn through, so I was just hitting it on that little raised area here and then down at the pump. So I think that pretty much got it. I'm gonna go ahead and mount the pump on there, and I don't think I got it too hot because it was just a quick few quick zaps there. Mount that pump on, measure it again, and then make sure that this can't move at all. I don't think it's gonna move, so we'll do that. Bring you guys back here in just a bit. Alright guys, it looked like it took. I don't see it moving any. I've kind of forced it a little bit, so I'm gonna check all the measurements, make sure it's good. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, and after further investigation with my magnifying glass, it looks like it took pretty well. Jeg sent me a gasket, kind of like a copper gasket with this I don't know if it needs to be used, but right now I hadn't torqued down anything. I just kind of bolted it on there, but I may take that gasket off. I've never seen it used in some of the videos that I've watched. I mean, it's always, the pump's always mounted to the metal there. I put little check marks here that was telling me that I've already torqued these, and I believe I've got Sharpie marks on these bolts saying that they were already torqued. But I may go through it and check it all again just to make sure. Clearances have been checked between each rod. Forget what they were, but they were within the specs. You know, the rods move around back and forth here. Stuck gauges in between them, and they turned out to be okay. That'll be it for today. I'm turning the camera off and probably go out somewhere the rest of the afternoon. Alright, see you guys later.